Seconds remaining. Reserve time.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Star Series 12 qualifying finals. In this best of 5, we are currently tied here in Game 3 with MeePwnd winning Game 1, BBC winning Game 2. So, really, it's going to be setting the pace for the next game, really, that this game is all going to be coming down to. But that's fine, because so far these teams looking to be fairly evenly matched. And, well, we'll see what happens here in Game 3. I'm Mike Loris, going to be joined by Coucher once more. And, man, this game, or this series, looks like it could actually go the distance. It didn't seem like it after the first game, but now it definitely looks like it.
Radiant
Yeah, it's, I mean, to be honest, the way Game 2 started as well, or let's say halfway up to Game 2 or in Game 2, you would feel like MeePwnd maybe gonna just 3-0 this straight out, but BBC, they held on. MeePwnd, just a couple slight mistakes, ended up costing them the entire game by the end of things. Looking at the draft though, and the bans, MeePwnd removing the Batrider. I do believe both teams with the Batrider have won so far, right?
What did MeePwnd? I don't even remember Game 1, man. Well, Massacre certainly won with the Batrider for BBC. The Batrider for... Did MeePwnd actually pick a Batrider?
I guess not. I guess not. The second game maybe was just too long. I already forgot the first draft, more or less.
Yeah.
But, well, still a solid ban. I mean, Massacre definitely... I think Massacre was the key hero or the key player that just made everything happen in game number 2 pretty much. But MeePwnd, get their hands on the axe. First game, completely ignored. Second game, banned out in the first phase. Now, though, we do have an axe. I mean, it's definitely a hero with a rather high win rate, but not invincible by any means. So, BBC, are they going to go for some aggressive laning, try to shut down the axe before he even gets a blink, or how do they go about things?
Well, I think, first of all, melee heroes are going to take a huge dive in power level for BBC. You don't want to grab a Spectre like in game number 1 if you're BBC. That's just not what you want to be doing. So, there it is. Padrino's hero pool, outside of the Sniper of last game, I want to say predominantly melee. There's Medusa, Necrophos. That's about it for ranged heroes. So, grabbing a ranged hero to start things off versus Axe for Padrino is a nice way to go. The problem is, you've just picked up a Medusa as your second pick. This is a hero that can be counterpicked very, very hard. MeePwnd going to prioritize mana burners, going to be prioritizing aggressive play, and with an axe, aggressive play isn't that hard to achieve. Ancient Apparition going to be the second pick after, I think, also being completely ignored in the previous 2 games. So it seems like these two teams are definitely far from being out of strategies to go for.
Yeah, definitely mixing things up, and to be honest, not a bad idea, I would guess. MeePwnd maybe... I mean, to be honest, they changed the drafts between game number 1 and 2 quite considerably as well. I mean, running a Dragon Knight mid lane, for example. But at the moment, Ancient Operation at least will make it so that Medusa will not get any external healing. Usually, Ancient Operation is picked up when there's an IO on the enemy side because that heal is massive. And, I mean, I wouldn't have rated Balkan Bear's chances to go for a Dazzle all that high considering MeePwnd already had an axe. So, MeePwnd, maybe they're just going for more like a team fighty lineup, maybe even pick up like a Faceless Void off lane and run the axe jungle, something like those lines.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ancient Apparition, he's at his strongest when you could deny healing, and if you can't do that, it's not really a terribly huge deal. Like, still Chilling Touch is legit. If they get any sort of hero with a stun, like the line that was just banned out, or the Witch Doctor that was just banned out, any similar hero, then Cold Feet can do its job aggressively early on, especially up against Medusa with the synergy between that, Chilling Touch, and another ranged hero. Maybe not if it's going to be working with an axe, you may or may not be able to get that done, but certainly for this Ancient Apparition, he may not get full value, but he'll still get decent value, and both sides seemingly targeting those supports. It's going to favor BBC because they do have the first pick if all 4 of these second bans are going to be targeting support heroes, but for right now, BBC, it looks like they're going to be taking a very slow strategy. It kind of makes sense since in Game 2 it worked out for them, but at the same time, they got rocked Game 1 because they were just too slow, so maybe they can't be too much on the defense in this game.
Well, I think Medusa is gonna do just way better than that Spectre does, in most cases anyway, at least. Especially now that Europe Shaker is picked up, so To be honest, the Medusa, Earthshaker, Vengeful Spirit, Tri-Lane wouldn't even be all that bad, especially a hell of a lot better than they had in game number 1. I think it was a Lion, Zeus, and a Spectre, unless I'm mistaken.
That's right.
So, if MeePwnd want to go aggressive, BBC already have a way better lineup to deal with it than in game 1. But MeePwnd, to be honest, like you said, Chilling Touch can be a real pain to deal with, and maybe if they themselves go for a Dazzle, they would be maybe a little bit light on lockdown, and their just roaming potential as supports wouldn't be that great, but as an aggro try with the Axe could work out, just Axe creep skipping with the help of the Shadow Wave from the Dazzle, something along those lines. But, I mean, running aggressive trial lanes is always just kind of a risky thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, you could always go for the Dazzle, and the synergy with Axe there is real. Or you could just go for more Flavor of the Month heroes. Troll Warlord was banned or ignored, one of those two in the last game. So Troll Warlord with the Axe is going to see some play finally in this best of 5, and it's also just a reasonable way to go. It's very safe. It doesn't really show their hand just yet. Most likely we'll head towards the mid lane, so they also still have a free core spot if they want to give that over to the likes of an Anti-Mage down the line to try to deal with this Medusa. And it's synergizing okay with Troll Warlord. Rubik's going to be the pick, though, for MeePwnd. Going to get that lift synergy with Ancient Apparition. And it looks like they can go pretty aggressive themselves, whereas BBC going to grab a Clockwork, expecting maybe the Axe matchup.
I mean, Clockwork can definitely work out. At the moment, they don't have any massive synergies, like Mystic Flare, for example, from Skyr of Mage or anything. And also MeePwnd, having seen the Clockwork, going for that Rubik, it means at least you can lift out the Clockwork and get rid of the Battery Assault that way, for example. So it's decent-ish. Also, BBC have a reasonable amount of magic damage, and Rubik going for the Null Field is going to mitigate some of that. At the moment, though, what's the biggest spell to steal? Is it like a Hookshot or a Fissure?
It's probably just Fissure. Like, having that almost, or pretty much instant cast is going to be really nice, and together with the Troll Warlord and Ancient Apparition, if you get an extra stun from any source, you're going to be pretty happy. So Fissure is going to be at a premium, but it's definitely a Rubik pick, more so for the telekinesis and the early game control than it is for the late game spell steals. As nice as it is to be able to steal, you know, anything, you're not going to really be happy to steal many of Clockwork skills. Medusa skills are rather mediocre as well. So yeah, this Rubik is pretty much all about that synergy with the Ancient Apparition, and in that case it's fine, although I do think there are probably better set of heroes to take.
Yeah, probably so, but well, at the moment MeePwnd, they themselves need another core, but when looking at their bans, I guess you want to ban out any kind of a mid laner, possibly a Puck. Queen of Pain already banned out by BBC themselves in the previous phase. So what does that leave us with? I guess Storm Spirit wouldn't be too horrible. I mean, a tiny chance for a Naga Siren, or never mind, I guess MeePwnd themselves might pick up a Naga Siren for like a diffuse on mana drain up against Medusa, but Invoker for now is banned out. A hero they themselves actually could have utilized in the mid lane, for example. Go for an aggressive tri-lane, Troll, Ancient Apparition, Rubik, leave Axe safe lane and have EMP Invoker to deal with the Medusa, but MeePwnd, are we going to see the Anti-Mage?
Oh man, I think it's still a pretty good one. Shadow Fiend is somewhat problematic for the Anti-Mage just because of his high physical right-click damage, but yeah, I think Anti-Mage is probably what they want to grab if they want to go aggressive versus Medusa, because considering their alternatives, their options to countering this Medusa are fairly limited. So AM is going to be the pick for MeePwnd, and it's going to be the Anti-Mage, or Anti-Mage is going to be played by Wii rather, for MeePwnd. Usually would indicate is going towards the mid lane, and I think you could reasonably expect there to be a Shadow Fiend on the other end. So, I mean, Anti-Mage is good versus Medusa. You really want to match them up rather early, however. So, I don't know if this is really going to be working out for MeePwnd in the end, but regardless, MeePwnd, they have a very safe draft. Like, their late game is pretty much in the bag with Troll Warlord, Anti-Mage, contesting with Medusa rather evenly, I would say. And their early game isn't really the strongest, but it's not too terrible either with Ancient Apparition, Rubik, and Axe.
Yeah, it's definitely decent-ish at the very least, and BBC themselves will see how aggressive their own supports want to be. Earthshaker and Vengeful definitely should be pretty adept at roaming around, or at least if nothing else, the Earthshaker Yapsor safeguarding the Shadow Fiend in the mid lane. But just with the Shadow Fiend, at least BBC, they don't have like all the eggs in the Medusa basket. They're not running like a proper 4 Protect 1 or anything. So it's just Padrino doesn't have to carry all the weight on his own shoulders. We'll have some relief from Hook's Shadow Fiend coming in. But as is customary, we're gonna have a pause at the start of the game.
Yeah, it's kind of unavoidable, but I actually do like it when BBC try to get as much pressure off of Pedrinho. Not saying that he's a player that can't handle it, as he ordinarily just handles it fine, but we could even see in the last game, he was the sniper, had a pretty mediocre to bad start, yet it was Hook's Wind Ranger that really held down the fort early game damage-wise, and then of course the Bat Rider helping out in those initiations came in huge as well, so splitting the late game focus for BBC is probably going to be the way to go. And as far as late game, Medusa's a powerhouse, Shadow Fiend's a powerhouse. Can't really do that much worse. I mean, Anti-Mage Troll is dangerous and everything, and maybe the Blink axe calls will be a little bit crippling for BBC, but overall, the late game should be relatively even, but I think MeePwnd definitely peak just a little bit sooner than BBC.
Yeah, it's probably true, but it just comes down to how much the anti-mage actually gets accomplished, how early you can get like a Battle Fury Manta style, because Manta style is the point from where onwards Medusa is gonna have a really hard time. Then again, MeePwnd, they don't have the craziest amount of lockdown, so might not get like massive value out of those illusions and everything right-clicking at him, but a Telekinesis or Berserker's Call might just be enough time for you to activate Manta style, get a few right-clicks in, pop the Mana Void, and just blow up the Medusa completely.
Alright, so looks like this game is going to be getting started hopefully soon, maybe, I don't know, but this is game 3, currently tied 1-1, and well, Hook, his Shadow Fiend game 1, it was not really, well, we couldn't really get a read as to how effective it was. We don't really know how good he is with this hero, because his team got demolished before they really had a chance to perform, but at least we're going to have a second chance to see how good the Shadow Fiend really is. Versus the Troll Warlord, not really the hardest lane for either side. They both should be fine.
They should indeed, but to introduce the lineup, so for the side of BBC, Massacre will be playing the Clockwork, and I don't think I've ever seen him play that hero, so we'll see how well he's going to fare on that. Yapsor playing the Earthshaker, as Hook heading towards the mid lane on the Shadow Fiend, and safe lane Padrinho of course on the Medusa, and Levi will be playing the Vengeful.
And on the MeePwnd side, Wee is going to be playing the Anti-Mage. Looks like he will not be going towards the mid lane this time. He's going to be up there on the top lane. Pylai Dai is on the Ancient Apparition. Hani is going to be handling the Rubik. Got Mirage, who's spamming Berserker's Rage, because why not? As the Troll Warlord, most likely mid, and Simba going to be handling the solo offlane Axe. His offlane experience, well, looks like it's not going to be the most fun, but if it is dual lanes, Vengeful Spirit and Medusa, well, the Axe definitely has gone up against worse, and if it really is bad, he has the option of going towards jungle, and that's an option that Massacre really does not have. I don't think the laning situation is going to be that bad for him up on top lane, especially if Wee's left all alone up here. But there might actually be dual lanes in store for BBC. Yapler can just go down to the bottom lane. That's a possibility as well, but Anti-Mage versus Clockwork, it's not the worst for Clockwork, but it's also not that bad for the Anti-Mage. Like, Anti-Mage 1v1 versus another melee hero is usually pretty good for the AM.
It's just mana break, especially Clockwork. I mean, look at the mana pool, 221. Of course, 1 point into mana break isn't maybe that devastating, but you're going to be trading right clicks anyway, I would assume. So Clockwork, maybe he can do some counter harass with the power cogs, pushing him back, getting the mana burn and everything. But I just, MeePwnd, they had 4 heroes towards the bottom rune. Of course, they did get both runes, I believe, we picking up one and Troll Warlord the other. So that's always a good start if you kind of manage to get both bounty runes, just easy 200 XP and gold between the two of runes. So it's just the fact that they ran at the enemy heroes, they even chilling touched up, but there was no way they're going to catch anybody. At least they were optimistic about it.
Yeah, I mean, Chilling Touch isn't really that expensive, as Pylai Dai's only real job in this game, or at least for the first couple minutes, is to be there with Chilling Touch when he needs it, and pretty much ignore his other skills. Those aren't really as important in the early stages, so it's going to be pretty nice for MeePwnd to grab those two right off the bat, and as you said, grabbing them on heroes that are going to be very happy to have them, especially Mirage, that much closer to his Bottle Rush. Hook is going to stat up rather heavily, has a lot of early game tangos. Massacre actually going to get jumped. Chilling Touch is already up. Lift has already been used. Body blocks from Hani. Massacre needs to get out of here. Here comes Wee for a little bit of extra damage. Will it be enough? It will be just short. Hani needs a Fade Bolt right now, but he's only level 1. And Clockwork's barely going to get out of there with his life. In the meantime, Levi taking quite a beating from Simba. I can only assume he got caught in a call. And MeePwnd, they are once again looking like they're going to be winning most of these lanes, which has been the case for both game 1 and 2.
Oh, definitely so. And it's just, we had it been there a little bit earlier for the anti-mage, could have been the kill there. At least if anti-mage would have been a part of the chilling touch, even then might have been enough. But just pressuring the clockwork by itself might be enough already. One range creep, even that Honey, he won't allow that one range creep to go towards the side pole, although clockwork will come in. Doesn't have a battery assault though, has chosen to go for that.
Tower is under
Simba
attack.
going to dive deep. He has a call up, needs a lot more spins if he wants to get any kills here. Now he's on the run. He's going to run into another creep wave, which means he can't salve up. Well, he's not taking that much damage from the creep wave. Now has a chance to salve for a little bit of HP, or he just try to kill himself. Okay, hide in the corner, last stand. But I don't think that last stand is going to last very long. There's a fissure from up high, and the Yapsor is going to draw that kill. I mean, if you're Axe, you're going to feel pretty comfortable at going against these heroes, but once you go past this tower line, then you're in a whole nother world of hurt. And he just dove a little bit too deep.
That was just extremely weird by him. Of course, I think he was expecting, or maybe not expecting more than hoping, for Levi to come in close enough for the Berserker's call there. It might have easily been the first blood for him had that happened, but Yapsor, he knew what's going on, just stood a long distance, popped the Fissure to get the kill, and suddenly Yapsor, up to 875 gold, can go for early arcane boots, maybe get like a soul ring, or who knows, maybe just straight off Blink Rush.
Yeah, and either one would be really nice for a Shaker to have. A little bit extra gold into the Shaker's pockets are never going to go amiss. Hani and Pylai die. The roaming combo of Ancient Apparition and Rubik, not really the deadliest, but if Troll Warlord has an opportunity here, he could help out quite a bit. Simba taking a beating in his own jungle. It seems like BBC know about this. Hook, he's going to drink his entire bottle, then might move up for some CS. Now, they definitely know that something's missing from the top lane. Mass Carry sees absolutely no one. I don't know if there was Rocket Flare confirmation there, but with the smoke timing out, this Observer Ward is going to keep everyone in the mid lane perfectly safe. So I honestly don't even know if they would have had enough firepower to get the kill on the Shadow Fiend anyway with an Earthshaker there. So smoke rotation is going to fail, and it's fortunately for MeePwnd not really going to hurt this top lane all too much. As we already said, we is going to do just fine versus Mass Carry, especially a Clockwork which has no mana.
And Clockwork without the mana, it's just not that scary for a beast, to be honest. Then again, sometimes for some heroes, being out of mana against anti-mage, it's just like, you're not even gonna bother trying to get mana, just because mana break, at least it won't do extra damage to you that way, but Honey will come in now. If they had a Chilling Touch, they could go for the kill, but Honey will at least make it so that Massacre will not get extra XP, because, to be honest, for a just solo offlane up against a tri-lane, being almost level 5, or well, he's gonna hit level 5 anyway now, 4.5 minutes in. That's just absolutely excellent. I mean, Axe also level 4, but has gone into his own jungle now to just guaranteed get those levels. But then again, Ancient Apparition, he's on the bottom side, will hit level 2, maybe even 3 from this creep wave. But I didn't expect this Clockwork to get as much, to be honest.
Yeah, you'd expect him to just be completely zoned out and always have no mana, always be very low on health. His mana situation is going to be low. I think that's pretty much a given no matter what happened, but he's still relatively healthy up here, and I think that's mostly because the harassment damage of MeePwnd really not that high. They don't really have any spells that they could throw in willy-nilly, like arcane bolts or anything like that, and their threat is there, but only if they have 3 heroes with a Chilling Touch. And now that Pylai dies down in the bottom lane, the threat level of the top lane drops to almost 0, and Pylai dies also in a little bit of trouble. Will dig himself into the trees, and it looks like he will be walled off by melee creep. No, he'll eat his way through, so he'll be fine. But this is actually pretty nice for MeePwnd to get this Ancient Apparition some levels down in the bottom lane. You have a hero that can jungle. You don't really want Axe to jungle, but I mean, sometimes you just got to do it because there's no better alternative. Pylai Dai is going to be pretty happy about this. So level 6 coming up very quickly on Ancient Apparition can allow MeePwnd to get some action going with their Troll Warlord.
Yeah, especially should Simba get his Blink Dagger at around the same time as well. I mean, Ancient Apparition early level 6 is definitely always important. Massacre in some trouble out of mana, but we guess it's the wrong running direction. Might want to pop the Mana Void, does have it if necessary. He's gonna wait for another Blink though. Do we have more heroes coming in? We do have Mirage coming in. Troll up, does get fissured off, so he cannot follow Massacre though. He's gonna lose his life for sure. We will pop the Mana Void in the end. So, nice kill for him. We, of course, getting extra gold. Already has the Power Treads, Ring of Health to follow. 34 last hits. Not number 1. Funny enough, Troll in the mid lane is on that number 1 position with last hits. But, I mean, Anti-Mage definitely off to a good start so far. Nothing really has been sent there to shut him down, and I don't think anything will be sent there to try to shut down the Anti-Mage anytime soon.
Even if they send the Earthshaker and the Vengeful Spirit, they'll have a lot of stun duration, but I don't quite know if they'll have enough damage because Anti-Mage has actually gone for 2 points in Spell Shield. so he's relatively immune to what BBC have to throw at him. They really need the Shadow Fiend there for the physical damage if they're going to kill off this Anti-Mage. And Shadow Fiend, like, the last thing he wants to do right now is try to gank someone with a blink. That's just not going to be what's in the game plan for the Shadow Fiend. So Anti-Mage should have a really easy time. Getting a couple kills is going to help him that much more. Mascara is going to return to this lane, but I don't really know if he's going to be able to sit comfortably here any longer. Mana Void's going to be up again because it does have such a low cooldown, and Mascara is completely spotted out right now. Simba, he is going to get a little bit of creep aggro, but now Mascara is going to get closed upon Hani and Simba from the back. Blink in from Wii. Mana's going to be drained. The call's there perfectly, so Mascara can't get a single spell cast, and Simba can't even get the chop down on Clockwork because he's already dead. This top lane is now no longer viable for BBC with just the Clockwork by himself. They need 3 heroes at least.
He was so close to that level 6 as well. I mean, Clockwork, all you really want is that level 6 from the offlane or really from anywhere, if you can help it. And with that, with the hookshot, you can try to just start setting up kills on the other lanes. For example, hookshot into power cogs, into shadow raises. Easy kills on really, I think, at the moment, anybody on the map. Anti-Mage might be able to blink out, but that's about it. Even Axe, tanky as he may be, naturally still would go down to triple raise, I think. But there is a smoke coming out, Clockwork. Doesn't have that level 6, but with the stun setup might get the cogs anyway. Simba though does get magic missile. Yapsar with the Fissure to follow. Massacre doesn't get the right pathing though. Enchant Totem a little bit short of the target. Didn't have the aftershock skilled up anyway. So that's just a smoke going a little bit unfortunate for them.
Well, he's going to run into Hani. He's actually going to set his sights onto Mirage. Hookshot is still not there, but he's going to pop the Battery Assault. Mirage is on the run. Can they actually catch this troll? We have a line being drawn. Run this way, because the other way... Oh, it's not blocked, actually. What the hell is with these fissures and not blocking off paths today? This troll warlord is going to try to TP out. Oh my god, is he going to live? Okay, so space created, I guess. Mirage takes 4 heroes from BBC on a Wild Goose Chase. Or was that 5 heroes? A lot of BBC heroes on a Wild Goose Chase, and he gets out of there with his life. And the difference between a level 6 Clockwork and a level 5 Clockwork is huge. If you just had a little bit more experience, that would have been a kill onto either the Troll Warlord or the Rubik, or maybe even the Axe from beforehand. Any one of those heroes could have died, but just falling a little bit short. And because of all those heroes rotation out from the bottom lane, suddenly Pylai dies almost at his own level 6. He's going to get it a little bit slower than the Clockwork, but he will still have it eventually, and he'll be able to contribute a lot if he actually lands 1 or 2 Ice Blasts.
Yeah, I just think the laning all in all and the decisions, how to run the lanes, it's been working out wonders for MeePwnd. You can see it in the last hit numbers, as well as the levels really coming by for them. Oh, we will get stunned up, but Massacre cannot really punish with the mana pool that he has for the time being. But looking at the early graphs, already a 3k net worth lead, XP 3k also for MeePwnd, and 10 minutes in, it's a pretty sizable lead.
Yeah, so MeePwnd gonna be pretty happy with that, and not only that is their advantage, it's translating itself into a tangible item advantage in the Axe's Blink Dagger. Pylai died down towards bottom. Snake from long range is going to snipe the Ancient Apparition from very long range. My god, that Snake had a mission and he accomplished it. But Simba has his Blink Dagger now. Ancient Apparition very close to that level 6 still. Between those two, MeePwnd can get kills on most of the BBC heroes, and Simba's Blink Dagger is still hidden. I actually don't really know why he's still hiding in his own jungle. It's about time to go out and look for blood. As soon as you pick up the Blink Dagger on Axe, that should be the game plan.
Well, with this Blink, 10 minutes in, not the fastest of ones, but definitely a competitive timing for that one. And like you said, you want to start getting kills as fast as you can with the Blink. Make it work for your team. At the moment, I would... Yeah, never mind, he has a smoke on his person. I was like, hopefully he's going to use the smoke just to guarantee the first showing of the Blink will be a success. But to be honest, the lanes have been fairly passive still. MeePwnd have made the most of it. Anti-Mage up to 1.1k gold. So if they can get like a tier 1 as well, Anti-Mage might get a pre-15 minute Treads plus Battle Fury. And that's always going to be a good sign. And well, never mind. Just as the game resumes, another player disconnects.
Classic Dota 2, but yeah. The Anti-Mage still having a really good time. Hook has been pretty much PvEing this entire game. Has 70 CS, which is, I want to say, mostly neutrals, or, at least half neutrals or something like that. But he's actually going to go for a Shadow Amulet. So it's a Shadow Blade build for the Shadow Fiend. I guess in that case it makes sense, but do you think this is actually the best item to go for as a Shadow Fiend? It's far from what nowadays is considered standard in the mech into Yule Scepter kind of build.
It's hard to say, to be honest. It may work out every now and then. just because Shadowblade isn't that common of an item, it might work out for them. But I have to agree that just if you want to sneak next to somebody and try to wreck him or something, Eul Scepter probably the better choice. Also, I think slightly better defensively. Then again, it's arguable, but it's just the fact that Shadowblade usually it's effective only for like the first usage, maybe a couple of ones, but after the enemy knows it's coming out, they're just gonna be prepared for it.
Yeah, well, Ancient Apparition Rubik definitely going to be food for the Shadowbladed Shadow Fiend for pretty much the entire game. They're also going to have to buy Detection, which is inconvenient for them, and, well, the Shadowblade might just run away with this game. The problem is that they're going to have to grab the Shadowblade and then vastly change their playstyle, because up till now, as you said, the game has been very passive, and Shadowblade is not the item you want to have on any of your heroes if you're going to be playing a very slow game. Shadowblade is an action item, you grab it, and then you look for kills all the time. And, well, BBC have done that once with the smoke, and it didn't even give them the kill, because Troll Warlord got away. So, it's going to demand that they change their game plan, and I don't really know if they're prepared for that.
It's actually a pretty good point you just bring out as well, just because this Shadowblade, it kind of, you would think it maybe not entirely forces you to fight, but that's the posture you're taking, an aggressive one. But, I mean... It's just Shadowblade, you're gonna be so damn squishy, and especially should the Ice Blast come out from the Ancient Apparition, you're just gonna fall over once really something touches you. And as a Shadow Fiend, you want to really be in the fight, be able to channel the Requiem of Souls, maybe even get multiple sets of Shadow Races off, just anything like that. Maybe they're banking it all on just Anti-Mage not joining the fight for the like next 10-15 minutes, maybe something like that. In that case it may work out, but I think MeePwnd should have a strong enough 4-man lineup to deal with BBC. Just because I highly doubt BBC themselves will be bringing 5 people to the fight every time.
Yeah, they want to use the Shadowblade in order to buy the Medusa space, so it's probably going to be 4-on-4s most of the time, and Anti-Mage is already getting pretty far ahead in his own farm. Has 1 sword plus the Perseverance, so his Battle Fury is very close to being completed. Plus we have a smoke up from the rest of MeePwnd's side, going to demand attention away from the AM. Blink forward, it's going to catch Padrinho and 2 Golems. No spins just yet, but here comes the Ice Ball. Padrinho will shatter to this one way or another. Fade Bolt has already been used. Actually, no, it's not going to work. The Battle Hunger plus the Ice, though, should get the kill. Mascari is going to jump right in towards Hani. That should be a guaranteed kill, though. Mascari dropping very low in the meantime. Will get frozen to the floor as Mirage does come in. Simba in the meantime occupying the attention of Hook and Yapster will pay the price for himself. That's him going down. Mirage going to take creep aggro, taking a raise on the way out. It's going to be a 2-for-2 overall, and that is a trade that MeePwnd are going to be perfectly okay taking, even though the Shadow Fiend does get an assist, does get to get away. The fact that these are even trades means that the Anti-Mage is farming and the Medusa is not, because she's dead.
It was also 2 cores for a core and support, and also MeePwnd, they did get some knowledge about there being a stack. It is at the moment, I do believe, a double stack, triple stack, as a Hellbear Smasher. Do we have a... Yes, a Helm of the Dominator for the Troll. He managed to take one before leaving, but they know there's a stack there, they might want to use it even, but this Hellbear Smasher, he just... it's just so funny to watch. Just goes in, smacks Levi, Levi smacks it in return, and just repeat the process.
Troll Warlord's micro, though, really needs work. Used the clap and at the very end and he missed. Simba and Troll, though, going to fight Padrinho. Range axes to slow him down, looking for that blink call. Snake not going to cancel that blink. Here it comes. Padrinho doesn't have Stone Gaze. Swap out, though, from Levi. Ice Ball going to come in. Levi going to get dunked beforehand, though, giving his life up to save his Medusa. It's pretty much the job of the Vengeful Spirit, but that is not a pretty job to have. And with the double damage rune on the Troll Warlord, looks like they'll clean out this stack. BBC going to rotate around. Shadowblade is up in Shadow Fiend. Will he see Simba? He's going to prep the Requiem. Mirage is going to get 1-hit KO'd. He wasn't too healthy to begin with, but now Simba also on the run. Has a Blink Dagger out. He will be fine, making a 1-for-1 trade overall. Problem is that now the Shadowblade is revealed, and now MeePwnd are going to be a little bit more prepared at dealing with that in the future.
Man, don't be underestimating the 3,000 item value. You get 1 kill, man. That's all good. But in all honesty, yes, they're probably going to be prepared for now. They already have Dust on Hania. Of course, Dust, maybe not the best way to deal with things. If he's trying to escape with that, yes, you can Dust and then go for him, but you cannot stop his initiation like that with it. And to be honest, is it only me who feels like that Shadowblade's into Requiem of Souls not breaking Shadowblade is broken, and Honey will get the stun before the will even get to stun Padrinho. Now the Berserker Skull lands onto 2 Ice Blast to follow. It's gonna be 2 easy kills, I think. Padrinho too low on mana. doesn't even have enough for that ultimate of his Simba though. Dropping low, Echo Slam brings him even lower still, but Padrino misses up. He'll not hookshot, massacre, kill secured. Padrino does survive, so in the end, still a favorable trade for BBC.
As long as MeePwnd though are taking these kills on very important targets, i.e. Shadow Fiend or the Medusa, and they're going to be rather happy moving forward. They're also going to catch Levi on the retreat. One more stick charges. Come on, Mirage. There it is. One more whack with the axes from long range is going to grab the kill there, and it's okay for MeePwnd to be making these types of trades because Wee's farming all the while. Medusa kind of being forced to participate in these fights because BBC need more firepower, but Medusa as a hero just really doesn't want to be participating in these fights, so she's at the same time not farming. And MeePwnd, I think they're going to be okay with how this is going. Like, even though their Rubik got jumped, he's still going to be doing his job more or less. His very low priority kill, but it's like one of the few kills that BBC can actually take with this shadow-bladed Shadow Fiend. Everyone else might just be a little bit too difficult, outside of, you know, one-hit killing the Troll Warlord.
Yeah, and as you can see, Wee on the anti-mage as well already has the spell shield maxed, so he's kind of ready for that Shadow Blade Requiem of Souls even, although might still get blown up with the health pool he has so far, but once he gets a Yasha or the Manta style finished, should be perfectly fine to even just survive that, I think. And he did get a 14-minute Power Treads Battle Fury. That's a massive timing, and his farm will just start growing even faster now. At the 1 gold per minute, 467. I think by 20 minutes in, it's going to be like 100 extra, possibly, unless it gets picked off continuously. But Anti-Mage, being this farmed, especially up against the Medusa lineup, I'd be somewhat worried if I was BBC.
Yeah, I would not be feeling good. They're going to feel better about getting a kill on Hani, however. This should be a pretty easy one. Fissure stolen, though. Going to stun Levi. He will die to the Snake. Ice Ball, though, going to kill off that Venge. That Snake, fortunately, I think hit Simba's Blink Dagger off, so it's just going to be a 1-for-1, but man, you come in with 3 heroes versus a Rubik, you expect to get that kill and then back off safely, but MeePwnd coming in huge with support and with also that stolen Fissure, which is, again, one of the best skills that you could steal as a Rubik in this particular game. It's going to be a nice turnaround for the MeePwnd side, still 8 for 8, and overall that one was more of a wash than anything else, but I think BBC just has to be happy that this Medusa now is actually getting a couple of kills, but still she's not farming as fast as the Anti-Mage, even though she is participating in kills.
Well, at the moment, it's just, looking at the graphs, they have kind of stagnated ever since the 8-minute mark, so MeePwnd, they haven't pulled out farther ahead, but with the heroes, the correct heroes getting the farm necessary, I think they're fine, but Wee drops extremely low spell shield value. Rocket Flare does miss also, but Anti-Mage, oh, didn't even go for a Vlad, so I guess wants to make sure that if he farms, he's at all times going to be at full HP, so that Shadow Fiend couldn't gank him exactly like he did at the moment. Of course, even survived this one, but just wants to make damn sure that he isn't too low on health once like maybe a hook shot finds him or something like that.
And a little bit of extra armor can go a long way, at very least mitigating the presence of the Dark Lord plus that wave of terror. So those two skills not really going to be doing too much up against that Vlad's Mass Carry being stalked by an invisible troll, and that's pretty much the worst kind of troll to run into if you're a Clockwork. Oh, he's going to unintentionally or intentionally juke out, but Mirage is now in melee range, has support coming in. Simba, Blink Call with the whirling axes there. Ice Ball is going to come in. Chop? No chop. Ancient Apparition is going to snag that kill with the Ice Ball, but it's a clean kill on the Clockwork. And then that just allows everyone else on the MeePwnd side to breathe a little bit easier, not having to worry about that long-range initiation. And right now, that's BBC's only way of initiating, until they get the Blink Dagger on Shaker, which is pretty close.
Oh, Shadow Fiend, he's gonna be royally screwed. Blink Berserker Skull, Wee blinks after him, Mana Void to secure the kill before the Shadow Blade comes out. Also, Tower will be denied afterwards, so nice pick of Anti-Mage. Definitely getting some revenge for Shadow Fiend trying to kill him like a minute before, I do believe. And with this Vlad, he is almost having the Yasha anyway now with this kill, with just the farm he's getting. Earthshaker though does have a blink on BBC, a huge pickup, but it's just MeePwnd, Anti-Mage with the Vlad, Helm of the Dominator on the Troll. Just think how easy Roshan will be for them as, well, they lose an Ancient Apparition, but it's acceptable.
Yeah, no one really cares about Ancient Apparition going down, especially since he has a Hand of Midas. He's going to be getting farmed no matter what. Even if you do kill him off, 3-4 more times in the next 10 minutes, he'll be fine. So yeah, Roshan's going to be pretty much a cakewalk from MeePwnd. They have not the most minus armor, they're like missing a medallion, but both sides really can kill Roshan rather easily. So it should be both teams kind of wary about that fact. MeePwnd going to need sentries and everything, so that's kind of an inconvenience for them, but they're going to see Hook moving in with the Shadow Blade. That's kind of unfortunate because Presence of the Dark Lord, I don't believe you can turn that off. So if the enemies are watching their status bars, they'll know when the Shadow Fiend is approaching.
That's actually a thing I really haven't even thought of ever. Just, it definitely is a dead giveaway, and suddenly Roshan goes down. Mirage, of course, did have himself a double damage rune, making Roshan a hell of a lot easier. Will have a Sanj on himself, might be an SNY, might be a Heaven's Halberd to mess with the Shadow Fiend before he gets a BKB. At the moment, has picked up an Ultimate Orb, so BKB, he isn't even thinking about it. Also, Heaven's Halberd is pretty decent up against Medusa. So I wouldn't mind that over the SNY, but SNY also would be a decent choice for him. We does have a Yasha finished. Another 1k gold after that. Gold per minute for him now, 587, and it just keeps on going up.
And that's gold per minute that really BBC are struggling to keep up with. Shadow Fiend can farm very quickly, but when you have a Shadow Blade on the Shadow Fiend, his primary objective is not to be farming, it's to be getting kills. And he's been doing not a terrible job at that, but he's also not been the most overwhelming hero either. Wee is going up towards the top lane, maybe picking a fight with Hook. Oh, he's thinking about blinking in. No, he's going to blink over the trees, so he'll just farm that one up. He's not being touched at all. BBC, they've made like, what, one attempt at killing this Anti-Mage? That's not good enough. If you let Anti-Mage farm, you will be punished. Pedrino down towards bottom is going to be called, prompting a rainbow of TPs. Simba will force Staff himself out. Hook shot in though. Mass carry wants in versus Simba. Force Staff already used. Now Simba is going to die right now. Mirage going to leave him to die. It's something you kind of have to save. You need that Force Staff to get away from those cogs.
I don't, well, possibly he was expecting, or wasn't expecting rather, the Clockwork to come in like that. But do have to agree with you there. Should have saved the Force Staff, and going for the Force Staff after the blink. I mean, it's a nice item to have up against Clockwork for sure. Even getting out of that. Oh, he's gonna go for the Absol. Ice Blast will secure the kill. Mana Void helped out a tiny bit. Magic Missile stuns Wee up, but he's level 16 now. Will quite easily run away unless he runs into a Shadow Fiend Requiem of Souls. Shadow Blade activated. We thinking about re-engaging. He's gonna go back in Levy. Oh, so screwed. One more right click, Chilling Touch. Helped out with that. So they lose the Axe. They do get 2 supports in return. I mean, not the big deal, but it's more so we getting the massive gold increase. I mean, supports dying, not the big deal, but we 300 gold away from the Manta style.
Yeah, and Earthshaker tried to tango with the Anti-Mage by himself, not a good idea. Then Vengeful Spirit tried to do it, still not a good idea. And Anti-Mage had an Aegis the entire time, so maybe he wouldn't have even tried to go for that if he didn't have it, but just him having that safety, knowing that even if he does get jumped once, he's probably not going to die twice. Mirage over in the mid lane is going to get jumped. Simba's there to bail him out. Hook's right clicks now being focused towards the Axe, but they will Echo Slam to kill off the Troll Warlord. Honey going to lift up Hook and try to delay everyone else from advancing, and it will be successful, but it will be still a kill of the Troll Warlord. But in the meantime, Anti-Mage is still doing Anti-Mage things. He's destroyed the tier 2 now on the top lane, and now he's going to change his sights to the bottom lane. Manta Style is completed on him, just has to be flown out. I think BBC, they're still even in the kills, or relatively even rather, but they're just not killing off the right person. They have to apply some pressure to the Anti-Mage or be getting a lot more farm than him, and neither of those things are happening right now.
Yeah, if you just look at the graphs as well, it's now about a 7k net worth lead for the side of MeePwnd, just because they've destroyed that many more towers. I do believe they're 2 towers ahead by now. I guess it's not that much, but even then it's just the Anti-Mage farming. 5k XP also, and Anti-Mage being level 17, having the Manta style now, is that the point where you start joining fights and actually try to death ball, make sure the Medusa doesn't get any more farm, because the Medusa and the Shadow Fiend haven't been touched for a really long time by now.
Man, I don't really think there's any real item point where Anti-Mage wants to help out. It's more of, when does my team need me? Then I'll help out. Like right now, MeePwnd could be taking this tower without their Anti-Mage. Of course, he has a double damage rune, so you want to help out because, well, you're doing so much more damage. But if we was on the bottom lane right now, that would be perfectly acceptable for MeePwnd, just because they will still be able to function and fight 4v5. We has the Aegis and double damage, and with those, they're going to take the tower very safely. In fact, with Simba off to the side, they're just daring this Clockwork to hook shot in, but that's not a good idea for BBC. They're going to lose one of their last outer tier 2 towers. We going to get the last hit on that one. Now he's up to 2,400 gold after having completed that Manta Style, and he might catch the courier. One hit. Oh, no, didn't see it. Well, Pilot Die sees it. Simba sees it. They're all going to blink after it. Dunk it down. That is a very valuable courier. My god. That was an Eye of Skadi courier. Oh, that's bad.
Wow. The one thing is though, Medusa, that means that the Perseverance might be turned into a Linken's later on, but for now it's just health and mana regeneration purposes.
Oh, no, that was,
but Linken's for never mind, the recipe is there.
That was
So,
Shadow
never
Fiend's
mind.
eye, Scotty, but Pedro is in a lot of trouble regardless. He has no mana TP out. He got bashed, I think, as soon as he started his TP. Now he's going to get called. After having turned Mirage to Stone, going to get ambushed by everyone else in MeePwnd. That's going to be the Medusa's death again. This is looking really bad for BBC. That courier snipe was, not really the most essential, but it just adds insult to injury, really.
And I got so confused for a second. I was like, what? Why did you get the Perseverance? But yeah, it's the Shadow Fiend, Scotty, like you said. So Shadow Fiend still not going to have that item for at least another 2 minutes and 8 seconds. So a pretty big deal. Also getting the kill on Medusa. And not only that, Rubik did manage to steal himself Stone Gaze. Might be a pretty just huge thing to turn the fight around, because Shadow Fiend, I guess you do spell damage, but your right clicks, you still rely on them a little bit. Medusa just 100% relies on right clicking, and when the Stone Gaze comes out from Honey, it might just completely... Oh, blink Echo Slam Honey, never mind. He's gonna lose the Stone Gaze. It's not gonna do anything.
Radiant's top tower
Well, I mean,
is
Stone
under
Gaze is
attack.
actually pretty sweet for MeePwnd to have. As you said, having to deal with Medusa and Shadow Fiend as just like a counter. But also, if someone does get turned to stone, most of the damage from MeePwnd, like close to all of the substantial damage, is physical. So they will just get destroyed by the likes of Anti-Mage, Troll Warlord, even the Axe. If he somehow manages to spin, even though people are turned to stone. I don't know how that would work out, but if it does happen, then even counter helixes will be doing a hell of a lot. So it's not going to matter right now, because Rubik unfortunately will lose that, but it did cost BBC an Echo Slam to do so. Roshan not going to be spawning in quite a long time. It was actually just reclaimed, so MeePwnd not going to be grouping up and making any plays just yet, but that's perfectly fine for them, because Wee is still farming out of his mind. He is packing that Reaver, and he has the heart recipe on the courier, so he's very close to having the heart. Then at that point, you're feeling so comfortable helping out in those fights as Anti-Mage, just because you could go in, not worry about your life, and at the same time do a truckload of damage. Sounds like a good combo to me.
700 gold per minute. That's ridiculous. 248 last hits. I mean, actually Hook doesn't have that many less. Oh, he jumps in, but there. Never mind, he's gonna go for Padrinho. Hookshot does save Padrinho for now. We doesn't have the Aegis anymore, but an easy blink out. Didn't get petrified. Will he come back in for a Mana Void? Looks like he wants to get it. Ice Blast is there as well. Mana Void. Oh, Lincoln's value right there. But we gonna be safe to blink out, I believe. Magic Missile is there, but like you said earlier already, even if they get the stuns, they might just lack the pure damage to get the kill on V, and definitely the case. And it's gonna get even worse once that Heart of Tarask is finished.
Man, they already can't kill this Anti-Mage. They didn't really try, I guess, with everyone. If Shadow Fiend was there, then they have a chance, but Wee is just going to get so damn big, and nope, the rest of the team, they're going to jump on to Yapzor. Rest in peace, Earthshaker. Hani stole nothing from that just because he didn't have the time, and Shaker down for another 40 seconds. They're now going to change their sights up to the top lane, where Hook is pushing that one, or Wee's just going to cut the creep wave. Either way, I mean, MeePwnd, they have almost complete map control. They're so spread out, but they're still getting so much done, and Shaker is going to leave. Better come back, Yapzor. Has disconnected permanently in the past, but Ancient Apparition, he is still just farming it up with that Hand of Midas. He's going to now go for an Aghanim Scepter after having already picked up a Force Staff. This is a dangerous Ancient Apparition right now, and they're also, the BBC, not addressing this hero either.
I mean, at least it feels like they aren't addressing anybody at all. The one kill they got onto Honey, I mean, all well and good, but this Rubik is a pure 5 position one, doesn't even have a Force Staff or a Blink Dagger for the positional advantage to steal the spells. So one kill onto him, and using the Echo Slam for it, it's like so. If they had the Echo Slam to try to defend another lane maybe, as Honey suddenly finds the tier 1 tower in deny range, will make it so the BBC will get even less gold out of this. But to be honest, I kind of expected the Troll to have a little bit more farm as well. It's not like he really needs to have more just because Anti-Mage is this ridiculously farmed. I mean, has the Tarask finished now? What's even next? Do you just go for a Butterfly? Do you build like a Monkey King bar into more damage? What's even the choice for you as the Anti-Mage?
I think you probably go for the Butterfly. Like, your Manta-style illusions, their primary purpose is to just drain more mana. But if you add the Butterfly, then they're going to be draining mana and doing a hell of a lot of damage. Plus, you're already like more or less immune to physical right clicks. You might as well be completely immune while you're at it. So Simba over in mid lane. He is going to get Requiem, maybe blink forward. Yapzor going to chain stun him. There goes the Requiem, and there goes the Axe. Ice Ball going to awkwardly fly by. Wee is in the area. Do MeePwnd want to fight this 4v5? This is something that they did a lot in the last game, and they got punished for it. Hook going to lose a little bit of mana, though. Wee has no bash here. Range Axe is going to slow him down. Fissure can connect onto 2 Padrino already with the Stone Gaze prepped. Is going to force everyone to actually, Wee's going to turn around and get turned to stone and then blink out. That's pretty easy. But losing the Axe right there, kind of inconvenient for MeePwnd, especially since Roshan is up. And because they got that pick off, BBC might want to contest this Roshan.
They have no vision about this though, so... And I'm not too sure if they're even gonna make it there in time. Battle Trance will come off cooldown, although then again, V isn't joining it, so... It's gonna be taking a little bit longer. Never mind, V will make his way there. But I guess the Basher probably might then be the next choice. Basher into Abyssal Blade. I was thinking though that these days, you can even go for the Diffusal on the Anti-Mage, right?
I want to say yes, but I have no idea. I don't...
Since Diffusal isn't an attack modifier anymore, so... It's like, Diffusal upgraded, does it drain 22 mana per attack?
It's not worth it though. I mean, you have to attack so freaking quickly.
But it's the illusions as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's probably not worth it, but it would be a funny thing to see.
Support anti-mage, diffusal rush, anti-Medusa attack. When you have this much farm, it's definitely not the item you go for. You go for a Basher if you want to do that.
Okay, so you burn 25 mana. So that would be 89 mana stolen. And of course damage dealt by the mana stolen as well with each right click. Honey though, he's gonna get jumped again. Yapster picks up the easy kill with that enchant totem level 3, but he's just knocking on the base already, tier 3 under siege.
One Eye of Scotty hit doing next to nothing to Wii, and he needs a lot more than the Shadow Fiend to worry about if he's going to actually panic and leave the lane. But losing Hani once again for MeePwnd, it's not really going to matter. Again, it's just a Rubik, and it's a Rubik that literally just picked up his Blink Dagger, so he actually doesn't have that much more to gain from getting more farm. You would like, you know, a Force Staff and Aghanim Scepter. These are nice items to have on your Rubik, but by no means necessary. So yeah, MeePwnd, they have the Aegis, they have all the outer tier towers destroyed. Do they go for a high ground push now, or do they just sit back on their anti-mage for a little while longer?
If I was them, I would definitely want to use that Aegis wisely, just because I think they should have all the items necessary to really go and take a proper fight. I mean, maybe they want to wait for the butterfly. I don't think it's entirely necessary, but if he can get it within the timing before he loses the Aegis and they can still try to just reach high ground, it might be fine that way, although Padrino does come in, takes a lot of damage. Stone gets forced out. Yaps are trying to stun lock anti-mage, but just those two heroes by themselves, they barely tickled the anti-mage. Medusa, not anywhere close to a damaging item. 3.6k in the bank, so might be enough as well. Shadowfiend gets himself another kill. No telekinesis to Berserk Skull. A second, maybe half a second too late. And that is Butterfly finished up on Shadowfiend, so Shadowfiend still pretty damn farmed, all things considered. BKB finished on Troll also now, as farming up the Ancients. I mean, this game, I guess with the heroes that we've had, just it being a farming game really isn't all that surprising.
Yeah, so this game, it's very similar to the last game actually, with MeePwnd getting a really nice lead in the early game, getting that lead, sustaining that, but actually struggling to actually translate that into any towers. Wee's gonna get chain stunned. This might be a death of the anti-mage. He has the Aegis though, and they already used most of their stuns to kill him off this time. They need an Echo Slam if they're gonna kill him off again. Wee is going to get bounced back, and the cogs will blink out straight into the hands of Levi. Battle Trance is active, has a Mana Void, won't quite kill off that Vengeful Spirit, but I think he will be able to chase her down. Yeah, blink forward over the Fissure, chain stun by the hook shot. Now he's going to get bumped back into the cogs, into Padrino, still not taking that much damage though, but he's out of mana. Wee, regardless, is going to walk out of there. The rest of the team lagging a little bit behind. And if they had any sort of backup there for the Anti-Mage, that could have been a fantastic team fight for MeePwnd, but Anti-Mage getting a little bit too far ahead of the rest of the members.
Yeah, Ice Blast also just barely missed Levi there. Even hit Clockwork, who was so damn close to the Vengeful Spirit at the time. But, well, it's just I guess the Basher would definitely be a pretty great pickup for him by now. But Butterfly still will be the next item choice for him, unless he wants to leave the Talisman of Evasion and the Quarterstaff just idly sitting in the courier. But, oh god, my cat is making some ugly, freaking ugly noises in the background, but...
Can't hear a thing,
3k
man.
up on Axe as well now, so do you now finally go for an Aghanims? Do you build the Shivas, or what's the build for the Axe next?
I would probably say Aghanims is not really the item you want to go for. It's probably just survivability and utility to the team that's more important. So Shivas seems pretty good. Hell, even Assault Cuirass won't be too bad on the Axe. One of those two big armor items. That, or even a Halberd, as you mentioned previously with the Troll. Halberd is really good against Shadow Fiend and Medusa both, especially as they get more and more farm. Wee going to get jumped to the top lane. The Eye of Scotty is there for Hook. He's just laying into the anti-mage. Perfect chain stun is there. They finally bring him down. It only took them 33 minutes, but anti-mage is finally dead.
Yeah, and he's dead for 82 seconds, and well, level 22, pretty huge respawn timer, and They got 1.7k gold out from that kill, 3.2k in XP, just that's one kill. And now they might even find more hook on the hunt with the Shadow Blade. Pilot Eye is backing off already, only 500 gold necessary for his Aghanim Scepter. They do see Padrinho, but can they even punish the Medusa farming like that without the anti-mage being present?
I really don't think they can. They need an Ice Blast to land, but even then, it's a level 2 Ice Blast with no Aghanims. They need either an Ice Blast to land, or they need just, you know, the most hacks bashes from Mirage. But Pilot Eye has his hands full in the top lane. He will dodge a hook shot, but he will get swapped back. Ice Ball is there. Levi can take a lot of damage, will get dunked. No, that's actually a Requiem stolen by Hani. That's good too. Killing off the Vengeful Spirit in style. So VS going a little bit too far ahead of her team. And it seems like that's pretty much a common trend in these games. Just people getting a little bit too far ahead of themselves. And well, this time it's going to be a kill for MeePwnd. It's only on a Vengeful Spirit though, but a kill is a kill, and it's just going to mean that Anti-Mage's death isn't really going to be punishing MeePwnd that much.
It's so weird that like BBC, they found one kill on the Anti-Mage and already feeling confident enough to go balls deep, go way too deep and just lose a hero. But I guess, like you said, just being able to kill the Anti-Mage for the first time in the game, 33 plus minutes in, especially since he has the heart, he's so ridiculously tanky. If he had the Butterfly, might have been able to survive, but speaking of Butterfly, suddenly Medusa has his finished. So Monkey King Bar might be the next choice. If we seize the Butterfly, I'm pretty sure he's gonna go for the Demon Age after, but so far still wants to finish his own Butterfly first.
Yeah, and that's reasonable. You already invested so much gold into these two parts, you might as well just complete the item and then go for the Demon Edge. But once he picks up this Butterfly, he has to sell the Vlads, and no one else on his team is really ready to grab any sort of item like that. So this Anti-Mage, for now, is 6-slotted. And he's, you know, pretty dangerous right now, but you kind of need an MKB. You kind of want to have an Abyssal Blade on your Anti-Mage. He just needs to like buy a couple more item slots, but that's not something you could do in this game. Or grab a double damage rune. That's also good, but it's a little bit too late. Mascara is going to snag that one. So MeePwnd, they have to make some sort of high ground push soon. Troll Warlord is going to get more powerful, but we really isn't.
Yeah, it's a huge threat as well, to be honest. And Anti-Mage, as strong as he will be definitely in the late game, he's not the scariest late game hero in the game. I definitely rather have Medusa, I think. Although yes, the mana burn might be annoying. Later on, there might be like hexes coming out. There is still the stun lock from the Earthshaker to consider. I highly doubt Anti-Mage wants to go for a BKB anytime soon, or at all for that matter. So Anti-Mage, usually it's just the fact that he gets 6-slotted that much faster than anybody else is why usually Anti-Mages win the games. Or maybe they're not up against that much late game, but BBC, they're definitely not short on late game power themselves, so this Anti-Mage being 6-slotted or well close enough to being properly 6-slotted might not even matter in the end if BBC play their hand correctly.
Well, MeePwnd also have to play their hand correctly, and this is the hand that they should be playing right now. Push the top lane, try to take some Raxes. Of course, having no Aegis advantage is going to mean that this is going to be inherently risky. As the Yapzor off to the side, looking for a Chainsaw into Wii. They're going to hookshot in onto Mirage. Pops the BKB, though, will leave pretty safely. Now going to turn around for Mascara Padrino onto the front lines. Going to pop that Stone Gaze. Won't really do too much. Hani pops some cogs in order to offer his team a little bit more defense. A couple spells being used on either side. Rubik's a little bit banged up, but I think MeePwnd are going to be fine to reinitiate, knowing that two threats are down. Both the Requiem not available, as well as that Stone Gaze. So this is actually a pretty easy push now from MeePwnd, especially if it's a 5v4. But yeah, this tower should be going down at the very least. And BBC, they should struggle to defend. They need a miracle Echo Slam right now.
Yeah, they most certainly do. And well, 37 minutes in, MeePwnd, they're looking good, but Roshan will also rather already respawn. MeePwnd, I don't think they have anything to scout it out. And the funny thing is, MeePwnd, they don't have that much vision across the map. Well, they have two wards down at the moment, which were just freshly placed almost. But around the Roshan area, it's all BBC.
Yeah, so BBC are going to know about this Roshan if it is going to be taken by the MeePwnd side. But can they actually do anything about it? Because I'm pretty sure MeePwnd, they're going to be prioritizing the base of BBC more so than the Roshan. They could, you know, jump to the bottom lane, grab Roshan, push the bottom lane. Or they could just try to go right now. And I think it's a lot smarter for them to just go for this tower and the Raxes right now. Again, their Anti-Mage is pretty much on a timer now since he's not going to get that much stronger. And they don't have to worry about Stone Gaze or Requiem, so this should be a pretty easy push from the MeePwnd side, and these wards right now won't really do too much. Like, if they lose the Raxes, and then MeePwnd are still alive to go for Roshan, then yeah, you'll see them do it, but you can't do anything about that.
It's at the moment the really only ultimate they have to be scared of is the Echo Slam. I guess Hookshot might be troubling as well at times, but by the way they assaulted the tier 3 so far, it's just he's totally up there, Troll a little bit farther away in his ranged form. So they played it rather safe that the Echo Slam won't be too devastating against them. So if they just continue the same way, I think getting the tier 3, possibly Rax as well, might not be too hard. Like I said, just no Stone Gaze. I think that's the biggest aspect. Yes, Requiem Souls can also do a lot of damage if you're exactly next to it, but on cooldown, 75 seconds. And I'd be extremely surprised if they at least don't take tier 3. Maybe they're not going to go for the full high ground for the Rax, but tier 3, like you mentioned, is the best timing for it.
Alright, so MeePwnd, they have a pretty clear course of action right now. Let's see what items they're going to grab in the near future to try to help that out. As we said before, Troll Warlord is also going to be getting a lot stronger as time progresses. And it looks like that strength will be coming in the form of a Demon Edge into an MKB for him. Pylai Dai has Aghanim Scepter completed, and that's a relatively recent pickup, I believe. And Simba, not clear whether it's going to be an Assault Cuirass or the Shivas, but both of them will be very good. So MeePwnd pretty darn stacked, whereas for BBC, they're going to try to go for a Sange in the Clockwork. Yapzor's going to try to go for a Hex, but these items just aren't up yet. Double Butterfly is nice on BBC, but I don't really know if it's going to be enough, just because the push is coming right now. So it looks like this game will be resumed, and we'll see if BBC are able to hold. I'm pretty sure this tower, as you said, is going to die. Will they decide to go for anything else? Wee's going to get stunned once, wave through, losing a little bit of effective HP there, but he has the Heart of Tarrasque, so he can cleanly disengage and then walk right back in.
Yeah, it's just the funny thing is the moment he went to hit the Rax, that was backdoor protection. We though will get stunned up, never mind, 4 step forward, the wrong way, but activates the Manta style. He's fine for now. Simba blinks in, gets the first dunk, Berserker Skull completely whiffed, but it's fine. He's still alive, will run back to the low ground, coax for both sides up. So Hook doesn't want to get pushed back. So they get to tier 3. I think they're gonna back off with the damage they've taken. Pylai Dai doesn't really have too much mana to continue. Or are they gonna keep on going? I think just go check Roshan status. If it's up, just get an easy Aegis, and I do believe it would be the 3rd Roshan as well.
They're actually gonna dominate a random melee creep and use that guy to check Roshan, so they'll know it's there, but will it actually go back? That's another question. I mean, they killed off the Shaker. The Stone Gaze and Requiem are going to be coming back up again, and BBC's ability to stall clearly is there with the Cogs and the Snake and the Split Shot and the Raises and everything like that. He's going to dodge a Magic Missile, just go straight for the range Rax, and it looks like they will be brought down, and then a Blink out. That's, you know, a nice half measure for MeePwnd. They get something. Now they're going to have a little bit more momentum on the top lane, and they're going to have enough time to go for Roshan, because while Anti-Mage was doing that, the rest of the team was already starting the walk there. So it seems like MeePwnd are going to get both the half Rax and the Roshan. Maybe BBC get there in time to defend it, but it's going to be very close.
I don't think they're going to make it. Of course, it depends how many heroes MeePwnd send in there, but they're going to back off for now, play it safe, maybe get a little bit more mana on a couple of their heroes, because Pylai Dai, if you use your ultimate, I guess you can still use the Chilling Touch, possibly, but Chilling Touch, is there any point in the game? Oh, Simba, he gets hookshotted. I think he's going to go down, or never mind, 4 step, he's fine. And sometimes hookshot, you just get too far ahead of your team to just, or for the rest to help out. But is there any point in the game where Chilling Touch isn't even worth it anymore, that the negative attack speed it provides is too bad, or should you still activate it on as many heroes as you can, as often as you can?
I don't think there's actually a point. You would have to do the math, and I'm sure as hell not going to be doing that, but I think it's the fact that it does magic damage and not physical damage. So the odds of BBC building up magic resistance to mitigate that is so low, whereas they're going to be getting armor naturally. So Chilling Touch should be always on 5 guys, always, no exception. I think. I don't know.
I think it's probably like how many BKBs does the enemy have? It's because it is magical damage after all, and it's gonna get completely just nullified. So if you're up against like 4, 3 maybe BKBs, it's gonna be just an attack slow and nothing else. But we only have 1. Never mind, we have 0 BKBs on the side of BBC, so gonna be worth Simba though. Do they know Badrinius there? He jumps in, they're gonna find the Medusa. Stone Gaze is activated, the hookshot will stop Simba from jumping in. We stand up continuously. Echo Slam even spent for the solo kill. That is overkill to be honest, but Shadowfin still alive. Butterfly providing some pretty nice effective HP. Swap back from Levi. Gets the Requiem of Souls, but the swap actually made it so the Requiem too far. But he goes down anyway. Buyback time for the anti-mage. Maybe he's holding on to it. Simba on the high ground, taken out by the Fisher. Mirage also on the run. Honey so far, they only want to buy back together with Padrino on the enemy side. That fight, I would have expected MeePwnd to just do a little bit better in that, to be honest.
Yeah, it was the positioning of the Medusa that really did it for BBC. She was able to get into an angle where it was you either go into this area and you get turned to stone, or you have to run away and then we'll just kill your anti-mage who already committed. So MeePwnd, they were trying to funnel into a stone gaze, and that's never really good. The swaps, of course, buying the BBC heroes a little bit more space, and of course the cogs are doing the same thing. So MeePwnd, they don't really take the best fight, but they do buy back with the anti-mage and then grab the Aegis. So they're not quite done yet. In the meantime, oh, they're going to blink up to the high ground, actually. Padrino losing a little bit of mana here, but not really enough. They need a basher so badly right now on Wii. Ice Blast is going to come in. Maybe Yapzor is the easier target. This Ice Blast is going to somehow connect on the Musa regardless, but now Hookshot onto Wii. They have Chain Stun here, but they don't have enough damage to kill off the anti-mage. Cheese, I'm sure, was grabbed by someone else from MeePwnd. They're going to chase forward for more, but we can't get these kills without some sort of crowd control help. It costed MeePwnd a buyback. They don't take the cleanest fight, but now that they have Aegis and Cheese, do they actually go for another set? Because the melee was taken in the meantime while they were kind of doing that whole standoff thing in the Broshan pit.
So yeah, MeePwnd still come out ahead. Of course, having the Aegis plus the Cheese is always going to be nice. And that's just going to give Wii an easy time to farm up. Doesn't have buyback either, so having the Aegis is extremely crucial. And it's just, next fight, if they get the Berserker Skull onto Medusa before he gets the Stone Gaze, if they can somehow drain enough mana, which I don't think they will be able to. But if they get this Medusa down, she will not have the buyback. Anybody else on cooldown with the buyback? Nope, not for the Radiant side at least. But their Radiant Courier does die. It did, or was carrying a Demon Age, so Monkey King Bar I would expect for Shadow Fiend as we have a disconnect. 42 minutes in, man, just... Apart from the first game, looks like those teams are just going for the long haul.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very, very slow game. Oh, this one actually didn't last too long, the pause. That's pretty nice. But yeah, getting that snipe on the courier. Who did it belong to? Actually, it was Hooks, and he didn't even have enough to complete it. So it's not really going to matter too much in the grand scheme of things. A little bit extra gold for MeePwnd. Supports are going to be a little bit happy about that. But the Demon Edge, or the full MKB rather, should be coming up without too much of a hitch, despite the courier dying. So MeePwnd, they still have the Aegis Cheese. They got the courier kill. They know that maybe they slowed down an item, although we know that they didn't. Do they go now? Or do they wait for a little while longer? Like, they have the Shivas. Maybe waiting for an MKB would be nice on Mirage, because he's starting to fall off. His item progression isn't really there. But Aegis Cheese advantage, man. You got to make something happen off of that.
Yeah, it's maybe they want to wait for Wii's Monkey King Bar as well. Does have the double Javelin, so just needs the Demon Age, but at the moment he needs another 1.5k gold for it. To be honest, I guess 1.5k for an anti-mage won't take all that long, but they're going to play it safe. They're going to smoke up. Blink Berserker Skull catches the two heroes they need to get. Mana Void, will it follow up? Dunk. They get one hero. Shadowfiend has to buy back. Mana Void will secure the kill on Padrino. Didn't get off his Stone Gaze Massacre. Does TP out before he gets stunned by anything, but there's no Medusa for 100 seconds. This might be enough. I mean, Wii has the Aegis, has a ton of health left. I don't think BBC can handle this. I mean, Requiem of Souls is there, but Seraphine only has 18 souls.
Medusa already used her buyback previously, and that was the best initiation that you could possibly ask for as MeePwnd. You not only catch one of the high damage dealers, but you catch them both in an Axe Call, plus an AA Blast, plus Wii jumps in and just starts cleaving through everyone. So for MeePwnd, it actually just doesn't get better than that. Wii's going to jump in because he has the Aegis. Simba, though, going to back him up with the call onto Hook. Ice Blast going to come in, do a lot of damage to the Shadow Fiend. No more lifesteal from him as they do take out the Clockwork. Wii's still alive. He has the Aegis regardless, so he wouldn't have gone down there. Anyway, down to 80 HP. Levi really wants this kill, but he just can't get it. As we will disengage, Levi will throw the Sunset to Mirage. We gonna jump in, 1, 2, 3 hits. Not quite gonna get the kill on the Venture Spirit. We'll lose the Aegis, but the Raxes are exposed right now in the middle lane, and we now jumping back up with full HP is going to put his Len into those Raxes. Echo Slam onto Pilot Die Mirage, but the cheese gets popped. And Mirage gonna turn around and lay into Yapzor. Fisher even stolen. Axe Dunk is going to get that kill. Now into Levi they go. A couple more Axe throws, and Mirage is going to get a double from that. They're going to back off after taking down the melee. They're going to go down towards bottom where Wii's already prepping that third set of Raxes. Requiem does next to nothing on this anti-mage. Simba's gonna jump right into his death, but Hook now man fighting the anti-mage. Not really sure if that's a fight he wants to take. Mana Void is gonna kill him off. No Shadow Fiend for 2 minutes, and that's gonna be GG. MeePwnd have eventually won the game.
I guess Medusa, if any hero, can fight up against supersized Mega Creeps, but I just don't think it's gonna happen with MeePwnd having such a lead anyway. Ice Blast will come in, try to dissuade PBC from even trying to defend, and GG well played indeed is called, so MeePwnd take a 1-game advantage. If they win the next game, it's gonna be all over for BBC, but who the hell knows what's gonna happen. Nice hookshot to will catch too, but of course GG was called, so MeePwnd. Man, all in all, to be honest, both teams, they seem to be rather even on skills, so I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if this does go to a game 5.
Alright, as Coucher said, guys, this is the best of 5. Currently MeePwnd 2, BBC 1. And we will be right back for game number 4 in just a little bit. I'm Mike Lars. I've been joined by Coucher. We hope you enjoyed the cast. If you did, be sure to, first of all, stick around for game 4, but also be sure to hit that follow button so you get notified when we go live next. But for right now, we're out. We're going to get back right into game 4 in just a little bit, guys. Don't go anywhere. GG.